Gennady Triple G Golovkin vs. Daniel Geale, Mike Perez vs. Brian Jennings, July 26, Madison Square Garden. I have been waiting for these fights for a very long time. And in this video, guys, I'm going to talk about some of these fights and give you my predictions on who I think will win. So with no further ado, I hope you guys enjoy. Daniel Geale is a fighter from Australia, a former middleweight champion, and a top 5 ranked middleweight in the world currently. Daniel Geale is a guy who throws a lot of punches, and he's never been stopped in his career. A very durable fighter. Holds victories over such fighters as Felix Sturm, Anthony Mundine, also Adama, who Gennady Golovkin defeated in his last fight. And he is the toughest opponent, in my opinion, that Gennady Golovkin has faced. Now, Gennady Triple G Golovkin brings to this fight over 350 amateur fights, defeating such names as Andre Durrell, Andy Lee, Lucien Boutet, and Daniel Geale, his opponent for this fight. His amateur career was really highlighted with his silver medal victory in the Olympics. And when I watch Gennady Golovkin fight, I see a guy who cuts off the ring exceptionally well. His left hook is vicious. Tons of power this guy has. He has a good chin as well. Remember, he's never been down in his career, amateur or professional. And his balance and patience are excellent skills that he possesses. Now, when I look at this fight, I think that it's going to be relatively close in the early rounds of this fight, while Gennady Golovkin tries to figure out Daniel Geale, who will be throwing a ton of punches while being backed up on the ropes, mind you, because that's what Gennady Golovkin does in every fight. He stalks his opponents. I ultimately think that Gennady will win this fight in the 9th round by TKO. Daniel Geale, while he is an excellent fighter, I don't think possesses enough power and isn't slick enough to keep Gennady Golovkin off of him. And I think Golovkin eventually cuts out the ring, figures out what he's doing, and ends up TKOing him. Although Daniel Geale is a very tough fighter, so if he went to decision, it would definitely not shock me. But I just think Gennady Golovkin is in a whole nother class. And hopefully bigger fights, if he wins this one, are on the horizon for him. And he gets his 17th straight stoppage victory if he stops Daniel Geale in this fight. Both of these guys are class acts outside the ring and excellent fighters. So I'm looking forward to this fight. And Gennady Golovkin is one of the most exciting fighters in the sport of boxing, no question in my mind. Now, the heavyweight matchup I'm going to speak to you guys about is Mike Perez and Brian Jennings. Brian Jennings is a guy who started boxing late, but has picked up some acclaim already in his career. Freddie Roach once referred to him on an NBC broadcast as America's best heavyweight prospect in his opinion. And Brian Jennings, when you watch him fight, he has a very long reach. He's a very athletic heavyweight, excellent stamina, and I really liked his defense against Arthur Spilka in his last fight. And he's improving every fight and getting better, so this is definitely a guy to watch out for. And Mike Perez and Brian Jennings and Anthony Joshua are my 3 favorite heavyweights in the division to watch. I'm a big fan of those 3 fighters, so I'm really looking forward to this fight. Now, Mike Perez is a southpaw, extensive Cuban background. I really like when he finds his range. He lands some nice body blows. His straight left is nice as well. Same with his right hook. And he can take a punch as well, Mike Perez can. And there was a lot of people behind Mike Perez thinking he was the next big thing in the heavyweight division after his classic heavyweight war with Magomed Abdusalam. Unfortunately, Abdusalam ended up going to the hospital and being in a coma, and that has really affected Mike Perez's fighting career after that fight. His fight against Carlos Takam, he did not look the same. Wasn't the Mike Perez that everybody was hyped for and really thought was going to be a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. It definitely affected him, and that's a big question going into this fight. Can Mike Perez put that behind him? Because he wasn't there mentally last fight. It should be noted, though, that Mike Perez has switched trainers. He had a visa issue coming into the United States, and he is now working with Adam Booth, who is an excellent trainer, works with David Hay, and also worked with George Groves in the past. So maybe this change will be good for Mike Perez's career. and he's been very positive leading up to this fight. His promoter, Tom, thinks that he's changed from this fight, and you're going to see a different Mike Perez. And I'm actually, this is probably going to shock a lot of people, I'm actually going to pick Mike Perez to win this fight. Now, Jennings holds a lot of advantages in this fight. He's going to be in better shape than Mike Perez is. He also holds a big reach advantage. And I'd say even his defense is better than Mike Perez. Mike Perez gets hit a lot in his fights. But Mike Perez is a guy who is a warrior. He's been through a lot of adversity. And I think if you can put the Magomedov Abdusalav fight behind him, that he has actually better technical skills than Brian Jennings does, in my opinion, and holds a power edge as well. I think that he can catch Brian Jennings in this fight and possibly even stop him, but I think that Mike Perez wins by decision. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but just think about it this way. If Brian Jennings had fought Mike Perez after his fight with Magomedov Abdusalav, Mike Perez would be the big favorite, and I think that a lot of people would have been picking him to win this fight. And remember that Mike Perez has been in there with the better competition of the two. Nonetheless, I think this is going to be an excellent fight, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if Brian Jennings wins this fight. I'd actually probably even favor Brian Jennings in this fight 60-40 in my opinion, if I had to say who was going to win. And most people are probably picking Brian Jennings. I'll have to check after I do this video, see what everybody else is saying on who they're picking, but I'm going to go with Mike Perez winning a close decision. Gennady Golovkin stopping Daniel Geale in the 9th round. Excellent card, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the picks. Agree, disagree, and give me some reasons why you guys think that Brian Jennings is going to defeat Mike Perez easily. I've seen a couple people leading up to this fight on forums thinking it's a really easy fight for Jennings, but I think it's, personally in my opinion, his toughest fight so far of his career. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you once again for tuning in. July 26th, HBO, Madison Square Garden. You don't want to miss it. Gennady Golovkin, Daniel Geale, Brian Jennings, Mike Perez. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Appreciate it.